Ever wondered how an invention from the 1870s still dictates how you type on your smartphone today? In the next 10 minutes, we're diving deep into the incredible story of the typewriter. We'll uncover how a clunky mechanical device, once costing the equivalent of a modern used car, revolutionized the world, created a multi-billion-dollar industry, and then vanished almost overnight. We'll explore the financial genius behind its success, the fierce competition, and its surprisingly enduring legacy. Get ready for a fascinating journey through business, technology, and innovation. The idea of a writing machine isn't new. People were dreaming about it as far back as 1714. But it wasn't until 1868 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, that the dream became a reality. 3 inventors, Christopher Latham Scholes, Carlos Glidden, and Samuel Sow, cobbled together a working prototype. They didn't have the means to mass produce it, so they sold the rights to a firearms company, E. Remington and Sons. Remington, already skilled in precision manufacturing, saw the massive potential. In 1873, they launched the Remington No. 1. This wasn't just another invention. It was the birth of the modern office. The typewriter's golden age spanned from the 1870s right up to the 1980s. The early years were all about refinement. The QWERTY keyboard, which we still use today, was standardized to prevent the mechanical arms from jamming. Designers figured out how to add a shift key for uppercase and lowercase letters and, importantly, made it so you could see what you were typing as you typed it. By the early 1900s, typewriters weren't just an American phenomenon. They were standard office equipment across the globe, with industry giants like Remington, Underwood, and Royal dominating the market. Let's talk money. In the 1870s, producing a single Remington No. 1 was a serious investment, costing about $125. In today's money, that's over $3,000. But as factories scaled up, borrowing techniques from the arms and sewing machine industries, those costs dropped. By 1910, a machine might cost only $30 to $50 to make. They retailed for between $60 and $100, giving companies a very healthy profit margin of 40 to 60%. These typewriter factories became industrial powerhouses, employing thousands of people and churning out machines by the hundreds of thousands. And the market responded. The typewriter was a runaway financial success. By 1905, annual global sales hit 250,000 units. By the 1920s, Underwood alone had sold over 2 million machines. This wasn't just good for manufacturers, it was an economic revolution. The typewriter created an entirely new job category, the typist. It opened the door for millions of women to enter the white-collar workforce, transforming not just offices, but society itself. For businesses, the productivity gains were so massive that the investment in these machines paid for itself many times over. The typewriter wasn't just a machine, it was an economic multiplier. Before it, all official documents were handwritten. This was slow, prone to errors, and inconsistent. The typewriter mechanized writing. Suddenly, office productivity shot up by an estimated 2 to 4 times. This allowed businesses and governments to expand their administrative capabilities like never before. An entire ecosystem of industries grew around it, from carbon paper and ink ribbons to office supply stores. The typewriter laid the financial and logistical groundwork for the 20th century information economy. The next leap forward came from a company that would later define the computer age, IBM. In 1935, they introduced the electromatic typewriter, and in 1961, the legendary IBM Selectric. Instead of relying on finger power, these machines used an electric motor. The Selectric, with its iconic golf ball typing element that darted across the page, was a marvel of speed and precision. It drastically reduced typing fatigue and errors. These machines were expensive, costing the modern equivalent of $3,000 to $4,000. But corporations and governments snapped them up. The Selectric line sold over 13 million units, making it one of the most profitable products in office history. But no empire lasts forever. In the 1980s, a new challenger appeared. The personal computer companies like Apple and IBM itself introduced word processors. Suddenly, you could not only type faster, but also edit, format, store, and print documents digitally. The typewriter simply couldn't compete. Its manufacturing costs were still high, but its value was plummeting. As the price of computers fell, the typewriter's fate was sealed. By the early 1990s, most major manufacturers had either gone bankrupt or pivoted to the new digital world. The decline was swift and brutal. Between 1980 and 1995, annual typewriter sales collapsed from millions of units to less than 100,000. Smith Corona, a household name for decades, filed for bankruptcy in 1995. In a move of incredible corporate foresight, IBM completely exited the typewriter business in 1991 to focus solely on computing, a decision that secured its survival and future dominance. A few factories in Asia held on for a few more years, but by the early 2000s, the market was effectively gone. So, was the typewriter a failure? Absolutely not. Over its century-long lifespan, it delivered an extraordinary return on investment. The industry generated tens of billions in revenue and created hundreds of thousands of jobs. More importantly, it was one of the first truly scalable information technologies, boosting productivity on a global scale. It laid the foundation, both technologically and culturally, for the personal computer. The typewriter taught the world how to interact with a keyboard, setting the stage for the digital revolution to come. The typewriter didn't just die, it evolved. Its discontinuation wasn't a sign of failure, but of ultimate success. It had so completely solved the problem of mechanized writing that it made its own successor, the computer, not only possible, but inevitable. And its greatest legacy is right at your fingertips. The QWERTY keyboard layout, designed in the 1870s to solve a mechanical problem, is still the standard on every laptop, tablet, and smartphone today. The typewriter is gone, but its ghost lives on in every email, text, and document we create. Thank you so much for watching this journey through the rise and fall of the typewriter. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, please give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the history of technology and business. Don't forget to ring the bell so you won't miss our next video. We'll see you in the next one.